Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So it's a really fun kind of day where I am here today. It's a lot of snow. Everyone's calling it like a snowmageddon. I didn't realize how much snow we had until Lily and I went to go for a walk and we came off the last steps of the front porch and she disappeared. Oh, where'd Lily go? She just jumped off and poof, she was gone. She's only about this tall, really. Well, the shoulders, yeah, that tall. Put her head, she's about, yeah, maybe, I don't know. She's pretty short. So yeah, the snow's deep. The snow's up to my knees already. And then it's up to my waist where the plow has gone by. So yeah, it's pretty deep. Actually, no, I'm going to use this first. It's pretty deep out there. So I hope you're all cuddled up and batten down the hatches wherever you are. I'm going to peek underneath your mask, Aquarius. That's what this reading's about. I'm gonna look underneath the mask that you wear. Some of these masks have been pretty thin. Like you guys you're not all hiding a lot, which is, I think, in a really good way. I mean, kind of demonstrating that y'all are, you know, pretty emotionally and mentally healthy, hopefully. You're getting there. It's good. Feeling balance in your life. So yeah, I'm going to look at the mask that you wear. I'm going to do it. I decided to pull out the Tarot of Positive Clarity for you. And then I'm using my Energy Oracle deck. And then I'm using my Karma cards. And I'm going to build up this reading. I'm not going to go into my teeny tiny tarot to clarify. I'm going to build up the layers, the depth of sort of the message that comes through with this reading for you guys. So again, it is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate. Just a reminder, resonate means it makes sense to you because it falls in line with, you know, something that you can relate to in your life. If you don't understand the reading, that means it doesn't resonate. And every reading does not have to resonate because technically, Spirit is getting the message out to whoever needs to hear it the most. So after having said that, if it does resonate and you're drawn to it, there is an extended. The link to the extended is at the top of the description within this video. And Lily, my little dog, she is up here with us. I wonder what it's like when you're that short and the snow is, you're this tall and the snow is this high. All right, Aquarius, Aqua babies, who you really are, the mask you're hiding behind, why you're hiding. Who you really are. Oh, the Seven of Cups. You know what? You have a lot of ideas coming out of your dreams and your fantasies, baby. Who you really are. The Seven of Cups. So either you're kind of confused about your options right now, or a lot of people might see you as an option. It's kind of a funny message. Again, this is going to really develop and get deeper as I pull out the different cards to it and start to create the spread. So who you really are, the Seven of Cups. Okay, what I get from this, I think it's really cool too, because I was uniquely drawn to this deck for you. And too, if we even just look at the artwork in that, this young boy has turned his back from what's going on behind him, and he's focusing on his own book and his own cups. And I'm really kind of like looking up into the sky, being kind of, I want to say he looks kind of hopeful, happy, content. So everything that I'm describing so far are going to be aspects of who you are, right? Like maybe you are a possible choice for a lot of people. Maybe you yourself have a lot of choices. Maybe you're not sure what direction you're going in right now. But I do feel like as well, with him turned his back, you're kind of like not being too conventional. And that makes a lot of sense, Aquarius. So that's, I can see that. Okay, the mask that you are hiding behind. So this is kind of like what people are seeing. That might not see you deeply. The Knight of Swords. Oh, you might be coming off like you really know what's going on, but you might be sure what's going on. There might be some things that are triggering you to be a little harsh with your words, possibly right now. There could be something or someone or a situation around you that's kind of gotten to you to the point where you're just, that's it. Just like, boop, I'll tell you just how it is. I'm not gonna put up with it anymore. But I mean, if we're asking about a mask and who you really are, like to me, the Knight of Swords knows exactly what they want and what they're doing, and that's pretty much it. Like, and they're wanting to actuate that and go forward, where the Seven of Cups is not really sure. So I think a lot of people around you probably figure out that you've got all your shit together. It's pretty good. You know exactly where you're going, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, why you believe that. But that's interesting. Okay, I'm sorry, I have to say but, because now I just saw these two individuals, the young boy and this young man, look like the same people, the same person, but like as time has gone by. Interesting. So I'm also seeing with that, like that this is an older depiction of this boy with a Knight of Swords, that you might be, there's some programming here, or people, what's the way, how do I want to say this? Like maybe certain phrases and beliefs, you may be, these may be based on your upbringing, based on, yeah, more like a conditioning. But you see, I see something much youthful about who you really are, that's exploring possibilities. So on some level, like you may have even perhaps up to this point, or a recent point in time, been kind of following some sort of line or belief system that maybe was passed down to you by your family or by a mentor, an old boyfriend or girlfriend, like kind of a belief system here. Some people think that you're still following this, but I see you turning your back on traditional, right? An alternative view. And that's how that comes through to me, like that. So let's keep going. Why you hide your true self? The Eight of Wands. Wow. Because you're really focused on like hitting the bullseye. Okay. So hitting the bullseye. It's curious too, right? Like who you really are is all this Seven of Cups. So all these possibilities, all these potentials. But the one that you really want here is the one that hits the bullseye. I'm kind of waiting for it to feel like if I sense that this is one particular point in your life or area of your life. You might even have like a job or a work position where you've been at that for a while and you're really experienced at it. And if anyone has like a question, you have a really fast answer with the Knight of Swords. Like you really know. You know where you're going, your direction is set. But I really see like this youthful, it's almost like something from deep down inside your inner child is questioning your path, and you're only focused on what brings you the bullseye. This is why you hide your true self. So it's almost like you're investigating something outside of what everyone else can see. How this affects your relationships. The Fool. Well, that's your energy. That's an interesting message. I'm getting the message that, like, if you want to go in a certain direction, people kind of give you the way to go. People give you the right of way. People, yeah, like people yield to you. And, you know, I could see that with this Knight of Swords. People are kind of yielding to you, to the direction that you're paving for yourself right now. Even if it looks like you're about to walk off a cliff and there's really sharp spears at the bottom. Okay, I want to say, this is interesting. And you know, this is from, I have air. I have air in my chart. I have a lot of air in my chart. Crazy amounts of it. And like, yeah, because you also being an air sign, so I'm just saying, from one heavily air-oriented zodiac energy to another, that it can be really easy for you to like see certain things and really be paved down that road. Now, here's the thing. I feel like you're backing off on this energy a bit. If not visually and physically to everyone else, I think it's happening internally. But, okay, so what's the thing that I'm getting here, just to be careful of this, is you may come across like you know exactly what you're talking about and nobody is going to change your mind on that, right? So it like look at this person down on the table, feels a little bit defeated by this really strong talking to. And how this affects your relationships, I kind of feel like, again, like people would stand back if they saw you, you know what, this is not going to go well. And they know from experience, or they know from something that you're perhaps not seeing. They don't know how to express it to you, to tell you that. Because I think you can be very swift with your words. And how it affects your relationships too. Are your relationships always like kind of starting from zero again? Are you going through a lot of relationships? Or maybe it's just in work or family, or I don't know. This is interesting. This is totally different from everybody else's Aquarius. Very unique. Okay. Advice for you. The Eight of Swords. It's curious. Now, the Eight of Swords to me, as advice with what we're looking at here, particularly the mask that you're hiding behind is a Knight of Swords, is to pull back a bit here. Pull back a bit with your words. Pull back a bit with the intended actions that you would like to take, and actually look at everything around you and perhaps try to seek out some obstacles here that you're maybe not observing. Because I don't think anyone's going to tell you about these obstacles. Now, there's going to be a dual message with every one of these tarot cards because the artwork is so unique. So advice to you as well is to take a helping hand if it's offered. Perhaps even offer a helping hand if you see someone stuck, because this could open something up for you where people feel a little more comfortable developing their relationships with you. Like, this is not a developed relationship. It's only at 0 with the Fool. Again, I see like a transformation happening here because you have got the 7 of Cups, but it's almost like you're so highly focused on this. Again, it's coming off a bit like that. Outcome if you follow the advice. Oh, look at this, the 7 of Pentacles. And it's a really nice 7 of Pentacles. Most of them are pretty nice anyways, but this one is spectacular, really. Wow. Okay, so if you follow this advice, if you take advice, right? If you take advice, offer a helping hand, accept a helping hand, just take a hot minute and try to observe any obstacles in your environment, in your situation. It's going to allow you to reassess your situation. It's going to give you a plan forward here. You might be doing a little bit right because, okay, you really don't know. With the 7 of Cups, you might be in a situation. This doesn't mean that this is how you are all the time in your life. And I should have said that for you when I started this reading. I have tried to say that throughout them because I'm reading your energy right now. So it could just be something that you're going through like immediately right now. And it's got you a little bit in your head and not really sure how to move forward. But I think you're trying to mask that. I think you're trying to look like you've got it all together. You know exactly what's going on and what to do. So I'm just going to tell you, I feel like nobody is going to point out the obvious to you, like you're about to go off a cliff here. That's really interesting. King of Wands is at the bottom and the 10 of Swords. Wow. Okay. This almost kind of feels like it's describing to me how maybe this situation was created. This energy, the energy that I'm reading here is somebody who very dynamic, very open, very exciting, a great leader amongst themselves and other people, helping to raise up other people while raising themselves up. You know, really wonderful leader. But the Ten of Swords is having experienced something very, it feels, yeah. It feels like, you know, betrayal. It kind of, yeah, well, it's Ten of Swords. It sort of feels like betrayal, some sort of painful ending here. And an ending on how you saw something or viewed something or understood something to be. So there is a bit of a reaction here. I mean, not to say there's anything wrong with it. What are we going to do? We all have to react and try to figure out our lives. But I'm just trying to point out that it might be coming off harsh to other people. And where they would normally help you, they might be backing off a bit. Okay, so let's keep developing this. Cornucopia came out, but I'm not ready. Appreciation came out. All right, just simmer down. I want to get, this is a very kind of specific message, so let's make sure. Wow, it's snowing even heavier now. All right, what's coming out with who you really are? Journey. All right. The mask you are hiding behind. Second chakra, see, you're vulnerable. You're vulnerable in some situation here. Why you hide your true self. Woman holding a coin. How this affects your relationships. Storm warning. I told you, like, you could be getting ready to go off a cliff and nobody's going to say anything. Advice for you. The Eight of Swords, the sixth chakra. Ooh. Yeah. Gosh, that's really coming through strong. Just stop for a minute here. Just stop pushing yourself forward. Yeah, just stop pushing yourself forward and take a look and try to see things beyond what you're seeing right now. I don't know what's going on here, but I feel like this is a cautionary tale. That you don't see what's ahead of you, but some other people might, and they're uncomfortable saying something to you. Advice, outcome if you follow the advice. Okay, the thinking, oh, I love that. You have the thinking woman and the Seven of Pentacles, okay? It's kind of going to ground you. It's going to, if you follow this advice, I'm just telling you, like, just don't react. Don't use your words. Just sit quiet. Honest to God, just sit quiet right now, Aquarius. I don't know what the situation is. Let things play out and then try to ground yourself and observe what the obstacles are around you. You're missing, I just got to tell you, there's something that you're missing here. A man holding a heart and financial constraint and blossoming abundant, door to romance, the garden of the gate, door to value. What the fuck is the whole deck? Let me just, okay. Financial constraints. Blossoming, door to romance. Oh, maybe this has to do with romantic conquest. I don't know. But there might be people who have like even strong feelings for you, but they're just hesitant to open up. You're almost guarding yourself. You feel vulnerable in some sort of situation here, and I think you're protecting yourself with your words. You might be a little impulsive too. But people are seeing this. Your words, you're showing, okay, you're trying to tell people that you are vulnerable. It's a mask that you're hiding behind, but you're not that vulnerable because it's a mask. You're not as vulnerable as you may think. Oh. You're not as vulnerable as you may think, because I feel like there's strength in a community for you, but there's something about the way you're showing up to people that's causing them, again, like, right, like this is just coming off as a warning to me. You have the storm warning card. This is how it affects your relationships. This dude is about to walk off a cliff, and it's all jagged rocks. I wonder too, like, woman holding a coin and the 8 of Wands, why you hide your true self. There's something that you could be protecting in terms of your wealth, in terms of your career, in terms of your goals, in terms of what you're building for yourself. And you have a target, but this too, this is like, there's a company I worked for years and years ago. I swear to God, I used to say this all the time. It's like the only thing they see is the destination. They don't look at all the different departments in their own business and what each department needs to do to get to that target. Like, right, so then you end up on this. Everybody ends up walking off a cliff because you really are focused on the target. But you've got to, there's some obstacles before you get there. Yeah, and I think you're feeling like you don't know how to get there too, right? Like who you really are, the 7 of Cups with this journey card. I'm just going to take a leap of faith here, but I don't know where to go with it. I just know that I need to reach this goal. Yeah, you got to take a hot minute and sit back here. I feel like this is good. This timing that we're doing this reading right now. I feel like I could be helping you to see something, to just stop. Let things play out. Just let things play out. Because if you follow that advice, this is good. This is really good energy. This is going to kind of give you a plan that you don't have now. It's going to give you a plan that you don't have now. And it's going to allow you to keep thinking forward. Well, let's look at the karma cards. This is honestly like a stop what you're doing right now. It's just cool your jets on something. And even your own intuition might tell you something. I feel myself more, I feel like the crown chakra though is more of like your intuitive downloads. Where I feel like the third eye, the 6th chakra, is seeing what you didn't see before. And with the 8 of Swords, as advice, I feel like you're being asked to see what you haven't seen before. Just stop. Stop right now. I know I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. You're like, just stop. Stop right now, Aquarius. Who you really are in Virgo. The serving of others, the details of, do what you must do. Ha ha ha. Okay. That's funny that's Virgo, because it's actually coming out as very Aquarian to me. It is, it could have something to do with service to others here. Like it could be something that you do as a job. It could be something you do in the community. But I feel like it's a target. It's a personal achievement, a target for you. But it's also, on some level, service to others. But you're missing a detail here, because do what you must do. That can be a little bit Aquarian too, like pushing too hard. Because the thing with Aquarian and humanitarian energy is sometimes we can forget about the individual and focus too highly on the civilization. I'm getting that now with this card in particular. Patterns here. You've been trying to solve patterns. Trying to figure something out. The mask that you're hiding behind. Sagittarius, insight to understand, the wisdom of resulting from the understanding of. That's so interesting, because this is Mercury in Sagittarius. This, right, Virgo is Mercury, and then we have Sagittarius here. So I feel like they're coming together in a really odd way. Now, this is that sense of too, like pushing forward, pushing forward, pushing forward. Insights. It's like you have the insight, you have the wisdom, because you understand something, but you really don't. So sorry, I feel like I'm giving you a hard time, because you're the Seven of Cups. Come on. There's something that you're not seeing, and I, honest to God, I'm going to keep saying this. I don't mean to hurt anyone's feelings, but I don't want to be that friend that says everything is fine. You look great. Go out the door like that. No, like you need to know right now that something is not fine. Something is not all right. Because I feel like there's a potential for a bit of a problem here, but you don't have people in your relationship stepping up to tell you that. Because you are coming across I think you're coming across like you are in a vulnerable position, and you, but yet you're not really open to taking advice. Hope you're taking my advice. Why you hide your true self? Cancer. You know, it's funny. Every card you have so far is a sign. Like there's planet signs and houses in this deck. In Cancer, intuition to protect, attitudes from the past about, resulting from the history of. Okay, so okay, that makes sense. You are going on something. Like you feel like you know something very strongly here based on something that's happened in the past. You've seen this play out. But just because we know history doesn't mean we know how the future is going to unfold. And I really feel like there's something you need to see here. And Cancer too, like the fourth house, we got the moon, the fourth house. So we have your home, we have your safe place, things that you keep hidden as well. Yeah. Your vulnerable places. I think of that too with Cancer, like a crab. It's all soft inside with the hard outer shell. What's going on? All right. The next one is a sign too. How this affects your relationships. In Taurus. Resources to maintain, the practicality of, resulting from the productivity of. They're just very professional. It's about resources. So you know what? Excuse me. How this affects your relationships. People see you as a resource. A practical resource. Someone that may be able to improve their productivity or... I don't think people don't see your soft, confused side, which is okay. They don't need to. They really don't. I'm not calling you out on that at all. I'm not calling you out on anything, actually. I'm just trying to show you how you may be perceived right now. And I think the most important part of this is how it's affecting your relationships. Because no man or woman is an island. And even if we are pretty certain about something based on a history, we still only have our singular viewpoint on that. Okay, advice for you. We have a house. In the 10th house, responsibility, success, become a person of power and status. Now, to do that, you have got to hold yourself back. You've got to hold yourself back sometimes. Right? Come on. You can't look... You can't be perceived. If you have some sort of goal for yourself here to become a person of power and status in your community, to show that you can be responsible, that you can bring success to yourself and others, you cannot be looking like the Knight of Swords. And I feel like this is almost coming out in a defensive way that hasn't been thought through. The outcome, if you follow the advice, another planet, oh, no, what another planet? The first planet, Mercury. Ha. This, to me, this feels like what you're grasping for. There's a lot of Mercury, right? With Virgo's energy. Mercury in Sagittarius. Well, even the Knight of Swords, I think, is... I don't know. Actually, I'm talking out of my ass on that one. I'm not sure. Actually, I think that's Aquarius. I don't know. Yeah, the awareness of many thoughts about or from many words. This is that communication that you seek. Yeah. This is that communication that you seek. I feel like too, because it's showing up. Yeah, showing up in Virgo, right? Virgo. I have a little, if you know, I have a little planetary or house sign cheat sheet because I'm trying to develop my reading of that. So, okay. Service to others, right? With the Virgo energy. Relationships with your work. And then Gemini, to me, that's kind of like more, a little bit more intimate relationships. Like it could be siblings, it could be family, local neighborhood. So this almost feels like to me that you may not be getting advice or caution words of helpful words from a couple of levels here. This feels like it's showing up most strongly with perhaps work, community, but I feel like it trickles into family as well. Because when you come off like this, I'm just saying, nobody is going to step in front of that to tell you otherwise. Like your outcome here is to be able to get what it is that you are not getting right now so that you can solve yourself forward and be able to think yourself rationally forward. And then here, many words, like I think you would get a lot of good advice. You don't have to take everyone's advice, but at least you'd be getting it. Right now, what's going on? I'm sorry, guys, but I got to read what I got to hear. I got to, remember what I said too? Did I say that at the beginning of this reading? That like the whole resonate part, and that not every reading I do needs to resonate for you. Sometimes it can later on. You'd be surprised how that works as well. But, it's who needs to hear the message the most right now. And this seems like a pretty important message, to be honest. The bottom is Uranus. I always say that and I think, should I have said that Uranus? An unusual example of a different way of looking at an unexpected change. Oh, so that's your house, Aquarius. That's you. That's your planet. This is what this is all about. Yeah, wow. This was so interesting. I hope you found that helpful. Even if it didn't resonate for something you're going through right now, I think it's actually excellent words of advice for all of us, really. Any of us can find ourselves in a situation like this at any given point in time. So, my dear Aquarians, I'm going to go do your extended. Oh, for the extended, I'm going to use a tarot and oracle deck. Using both of those, I'm going to ask 3 key questions in the extended. How to improve your relationships could be actually really important in this one. What would your deeper self tell you about the mask that you wear? And then how to release your true potential. Thank you so much, Aqua Babies. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves and those around you. Bye.